Welcome back to Real Estate Wisdom with Vish, your trusted guide through the twists and turns of real estate, brought to you in the language everyone can understand. Before we jump into today's episode, I want to share a quick personal update. Some of you may have noticed that our last episode was a little delayed, and I want to thank you for your patience. Honestly, life got a bit hectic for me over the past few weeks. You see, I just got back from an incredible trip to Banff and Jasper. Truly some of the most breathtaking places in Canada. The mountains, the lakes, the fresh air, it was exactly the reset I needed. But as often happens, when we try to get back into our routines, I ended up pushing myself a little too hard at the gym and injured my back. That meant taking some much needed time to recover and focus on healing. The good news is I'm feeling much better now, and I'm excited to be back behind the mic, sharing real estate wisdom and real life stories with all of you. So, thank you for sticking with me, and thank you for being part of the Real Estate Wisdom with Vish community. Today, we are tackling a topic that's been on a lot of people's minds. What do you do if your property is worth less than you paid for it? Whether you bought at the peak of the market or you're feeling the pinch of rising interest rates, you're not alone and you have options. Let's get started. Understanding negative equity. Let's start with the basics. Negative equity, or being underwater, simply means that you owe more on your mortgage than your home is currently worth. Imagine you bought a condo in Oakville for $800,000 in 2022, putting down 5%. Fast forward to today, and similar condos are selling for $750,000. You might still owe $760,000 on your mortgage. That $10,000 difference is what we call negative equity. I recently spoke with a listener, Priya, who found herself in this exact spot. She bought her first home just before the market cooled. Now she is worried about what it means for her future. If you're like Priya, you might feel stuck. But let's talk about what you can do. Why does this happen? There are a few reasons people end up underwater on their homes. Market, of course. Market downturns. Real estate prices can drop sometimes suddenly. Think back to 2017 in the GTA, when the market cooled after the foreign buyers tax was introduced. Many buyers who purchased at the peak saw their home value drop almost overnight. Low down payments. If you only put down 5% or 10%, you start with very little equity. Any dip in the market can put you underwater quickly. Rising interest rates. When your rates go up, fewer people can afford to buy, which can push prices down. Just last year, a friend of mine, Mark, saw his townhouse in Mississauga lose value after rates climbed and buyers became scarce. What are your options? Let's dig into your choices with some stories to bring them to life. Stay put and wait it out. This is the most common and often the best option. Real estate tends to recover over time. If you can afford your payments and don't need to move, just hang tight. Take my neighbor, Sandra. She bought her home in 2016, right before a dip. She was underwater for a couple of years, but instead of panicking, she stayed put. By 2021. Her home's value had bounced back, and then sometimes patience really does pay off. Make accelerated mortgage payments. If you are able, paying a little extra each month can help you rebuild equity faster. Even an extra $100 a month can make a difference over time. Let's say you owe $400,000 on your mortgage. By rounding up your payments or making a lump sum payment, when you get a bonus, you chip away at your principal faster. I know a couple who did this after buying in a soft market. They used their tax refunds each year to make extra payments, and within a few years, they were back in positive equity. Renovate wisely. I said that before as well. You don't need to gut your kitchen to add value. Sometimes small improvements like painting, updating light fixtures, or landscaping can make your home more appealing and boost its value. For example, my cousin Anita spent just $5,000 updating her bathroom and adding some curb appeal. When she had her home appraised, its value had increased by $15,000. Focus on changes that buyers notice, but don't over-improve for your neighborhood. Rent out your property. If you need to move but selling isn't an option, renting can be a great solution. I had a client, Kevin, who got a job offer in another city. Instead of selling his condo at a loss, he rented it out. The rent covered his mortgage, and after a few years, the market recovered. He was able to sell later at a profit. Just remember, being a landlord comes with its own responsibilities. Screen tenants carefully and make sure you understand your rights and obligations. Refinance or renew your mortgage. If your mortgage is up for renewal, you can usually renew with your current lender without a new appraisal, even if your home's value has dropped. But if you want to switch lenders for a better rate, they may require an appraisal, and negative equity could be a problem. I had a listener, Sam, who was worried about renewing his mortgage. He spoke to his lender, who let him renew without any hassle. It gave him peace of mind and kept his payments manageable. Sell your home with caution. Yes, selling at a loss is tough. If you owe more than your home is worth, you will need to pay the difference out of pocket. For example, if you owe $350,000 but can only sell for $330,000, you will need to come up with $20,000 to close the deal. In rare cases, your lender might agree to a short sale, accepting less than what's owned. This usually requires proof of financial hardship, and it can impact your credit. I once worked with a family who lost a job and couldn't keep up with the payments. Their lender agreed to a short sale, which helped them avoid foreclosure. But it was a long and stressful process. Consider a deed in lieu of foreclosure. This is basically handing the keys back to the bank to settle their debt. It's not common in Canada, but it can happen. It will hurt your credit, but sometimes it's better than a full foreclosure. Always talk to a lawyer or financial advisor before considering this step. Now, tips for avoiding negative equity in the future. Save for a bigger down payment. The more you put down, the more cushion you have if prices drop. Keep a rainy day fund. Life happens, job loss, illness, or unexpected repairs. Having savings can keep you from having to sell in a downturn. Buy within your means. It's tempting to stretch your budget, but staying conservative helps you weather market ups and downs. So, final thought, if your property is worth less than you paid, it's a tough spot, but it's not the end of your real estate story. Most people will experience ups and downs in the market in some point. The important thing is to look at your options, make a plan, and get advice if you need it. Remember, real estate is a long game. Like Sandra, Priya, and Kevin, you can come out the other side of stronger and maybe even wiser. That's it for today's episode of Real Estate Wisdom with Vish. If you have a story to share or a question for a future episode, reach out. We're here to help you make smart, confident decisions about your home. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, this is Vishal Kapoor signing off. Stay wise, my friends. Bye for now. Disclaimer. The information provided in this podcast is for informational purpose only and should not be considered as financial or investment advice. Consult with your professional before making any real estate decisions.